Yes, great. Okay, so we're just going to start with a basic Horton warm-up. This is pretty much how most Horton classes start. Can everyone see most of me? Yeah? Cool. So you're going to start in parallel, so feet hip-width apart. Make sure you're standing firm on top of your feet. You're going to start just arms just kind of hanging by your side. Make sure that you're standing kind of in the front of your feet instead of leaning back. You should make sure that all of your leg muscles are still engaged. And you're going to do roll down for, let's do 8 counts. So you're going to just roll down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Make sure when you get down to the bottom that your back is really flat. So you're really trying to stretch all of this out. Then you're going to plie for 8. You can just kind of let your upper body hang, stretch for 8, roll up for 8. And then on the and, you're going to bring your right foot into your left foot so that you're standing feet together. Same thing. So down for 8, plie for 8, stretch for 8, roll up for 8. Feet apart. Same thing for 4 counts. You're going to roll down for 4, plie for 4, stretch for 4, roll up for 4. Then do that a second time. Roll down for 4, plie for 4, stretch for 4, roll up for 4. Feet together. Same thing again. Roll down 4, plie 4, stretch 4, roll up 4. Down 4, plie 4, stretch 4, roll up 4. Feet apart. Same thing in 2. Twice. Feet together. Same thing in 2. Twice. And then, yeah, let's do 1, plie, stretch, roll up. 1. Feet together. 1 count. 1 count. Okay. I do not have a speaker or anything, so it's just kind of going to be from my phone. All right. Okay, let me know if you can hear this. Is that audible for everyone? Yeah, cool. All right, the intro is really quick. So 6, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Plie for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And stretch. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Roll up. Make sure you're going through all your vertebrae. 5, 6, 7, 8. Feet together. Roll down. Plie. Stretch. Roll up. Feet apart. Down 4, 2, 3, 4. Plie. Roll up. Second time. Down. Hard. Stretch. Roll up. 3, 4. Feet together. Down. Stretch. Second time. Roll down. Feet apart in 2, 2. Plie for 2. Stretch. 2. Roll up. 2. Make sure you're not falling back in your legs. Up. 2 feet together. Stretch. 2. Roll up. 2, second time. In ones, down, plie, stretch, roll up. Down, plie, stretch, roll up, feet together. Okay, good. All right, you feel kind of warm? Good. Okay. Now we're gonna do a little plie bounce thing. So you're gonna start feet parallel, feet hip width apart. You're gonna just do little bounces, just one per count. We're gonna start with our arms down. 2, 3, 4. We're gonna bring our arms to parallel first. Bring our arms up. And second. 2, 3, 4. We're gonna turn out to first. Do the same thing. So 4 here, 4 here, 4 here, 4 here. Then you're gonna open to second. You're gonna do the same thing. 4 here, 4 here, 4 here, 4 here. Bring it back to parallel and just repeat it. So here, 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 here. Just make sure you're warming up your legs. Really keep your arms parallel. So the port de bras is just very simple. Your arms always stay straight, your hands stay flat. So you're not doing a ballet hand, you're not doing some kind of gram thing. It's very straight. So it's just down, straight out in front of your shoulders, straight above your head, and then open. Palms down. Make sure that your shoulders aren't going up here. Really keep your upper body held. All right, so we're gonna do, let's just do the same music. 1, 2, 3, 4. Arms up. Up. And second. Turn out. So you're not going all the way up. It's not really a plie. It's just kind of a bounce to get your legs warmed up. Second. 4, and down. And second. Repeat in parallel. Up. Above your head. And second. And straight. Good. All right. Now we're gonna do flat backs, which are like a very iconic Horton thing. So how to do a flat back? I'm just gonna face sideways so you can see me. So like we did with the roll down, you wanna make sure that you're not falling back in your hips, but that you're really staying up on the balls of your feet, and that you're really engaging the backs of your legs to keep yourself up. So what you're gonna do, your hands are gonna start down. Same position we just did, so they're really straight down. I'm just gonna face side so you can see. And you're gonna do a flat back, so you're just gonna hinge at your hips. Again, making sure not to rock back. So you're gonna go up and over for 4. You should end parallel to the floor. Then you're gonna come up for 4. You're gonna do that 4 times. So down, up, down, up, 4 times. Done on the and, your palms are gonna flip and your arms are gonna go up. But that's all just an and count. You're gonna do the same thing, just with your arms up. We're gonna stop there and then I'll teach you the next kind of progression of that, but we'll just start with the basic flat back first. 6, 7, flat, 2, 3, up. Sorry, this is in 3. Second one. Third. and make sure to keep your abs engaged. Up, 2, 3. Flat back. Flip your palms, your arms come down. Stop here for now. Good. Other thing I forgot to mention is since we don't have shoes on, we're not really working with our usual canvas slippers, make sure that you're really focusing on how your feet are planted on the ground. So I noticed that when I'm really focused on all of this and all of this, my toes tend to crunch. Make sure you're really putting a lot of effort into extending your toes on the floor, making sure you're centered on your feet, making sure that you're not rolling one way, rolling another way. You should still be keeping all of the same technical placement. Just because you're doing something in parallel instead of turned out doesn't mean that you lose all of your musculature. Yeah? Okay. Next set of flat backs. So it's gonna start the same way. You're just gonna do forward for 3. Now, your arms, same thing we did when we were standing up. Your palms are gonna flip and your arms are gonna float over your head for 3 counts. Again, make sure you're keeping your placement and you're staying parallel to the floor. Now, you're gonna do a little plie, keeping your placement, just a slight bend in your legs. Come up. Then you're gonna float your way up to standing. Then you're gonna do a flat back bend. So what this is your pelvis is gonna lead. You're gonna tilt so that your body is backwards, but you're not crunching. This isn't really a port bra either. You're still keeping all of this very, very flat. Let me tighten this so you can see. And you're just kind of going, you're pushing forward. You should feel a little bit of a stretch in your hip flexor. You should not feel anything in your lower back. If you are, that means you're crunching, and that means you shouldn't be going as far back. So even if you're just like here, as long as that's a safe placement for you, that's okay. So anyway, you come up, you've done the flat back bend, you come up, you flip, then your arms float down for 6 counts. Then you repeat that. So one more time, you go forward for 3, arms around for 3, plie for 3, stretch for 3. Come up, I think it's 3 counts, but it might be 6. Then you pelvic press or flat back bend, come up, flip, arms float down. Now, we're gonna do something very similar, but in releve. So we're gonna, let's see if you can see it. You're gonna do flat back, arms around. In this position, releve for 3 counts. From here, you take 6 counts to come up to standing, but you maintain your releve. So this is really a balance exercise, and make sure you're still not gripping. You're gonna come up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're gonna hold here for 3, lower for 3, flip, hands come down. Then you're gonna do that all again. So forward, arms around, releve, come up for 6, hold for 3, lower for 3, flip, arms come down. We're gonna do just those 2 things, so you can follow along with me. Other thing to keep in mind is, like I was saying, even though you're working in parallel, you should still be thinking of engaging the same muscles you would be if you were turned out. So in parallel, make sure that your knees are tracking over your feet and that you're still working the back of your leg. That'll keep you more stable. So if you're just kind of letting it all turn and pitch, you're not gonna be able to balance on this releve. Make sure you're really staying strong through the legs. Okay, so flat backs again. I'll count you in because the music is made for all of this being continuous, and I'm not sure where we stopped. And flat back, 2, 3, arms are around, 2, 3, little plie, 2, 3, stretch, come up, 2, 3, pelvic press, flat. Arms around. Same thing, plie. And stretch. Up, 2, 3, pelvic press. Twist, lower. In releve. Arms are round. Releve. Come up. 4, 5, 6. Hold. 1, 2, 3. Lower. 1, 2, 3. And second time in releve. Releve. Come up in 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 3. Lower for 3. Lift, arms down. Good. Okay, there is one more, well, 2 more parts, but they're kind of fit together. So last kind of big set we're gonna do, start the same way. So you're gonna go over, 2, 3. Your arms are gonna go up, 2, 3. This time you're gonna do a deeper plie. So if I'm facing front, you can see my knees are gonna bow open slightly so that I can go down with my torso flat, but between my knees. So arms around, plie, 2, 3. I'm gonna straighten and try to reach the floor with my hands while keeping my back very flat. So I can't quite do that, so it's just gonna be kind of a little pitch forward. If you can get your fingertips to the floor, that's great, but make sure that you're really staying up on your legs and you're keeping this flat line in your back. So you're gonna go here. You're gonna do a little plie in this position to deepen the stretch. You're gonna come up. Then it's gonna be 6 counts to come back up. You're gonna do another flat back bend, come up, flip, arms down. And then same thing again. So over, arms around, deep plie, stretch, plie, stretch, come up in 6, arms flip, come down. And then last thing, just to get your back a little more warmed up, a little more moving, you're gonna roll down for 3. Arms are gonna be relaxed for this part. And then once you get to the bottom, you're gonna straighten, same position you were just in, and you're gonna come up for 3. Arms come down. Do that 4 times, so roll down, flat back up, roll down, flat back up, and roll down, flat back up. On the 4th one, your arms stay up, and you're gonna reverse that. So you're gonna flat back all the way down, and then you're gonna collapse and roll up. Arms come up, flat back, roll up. Does anyone need me to go over the beginning part again, or are you good to just follow me?
What position are the feet?
Yeah, your feet are always just gonna stay in this parallel hands, knees over. Yeah, so hips under your hips, feet in alignment. Okay, any other questions? And you'll need me to go over it again? Okay, cool. Ready, and flat back, arms are around, 2, 3, deep plie, 2, 3, extend, reach for the floor, middle plie, stretch, come up, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, pelvic press, up, 2, 3, and flat back. deep plie, stretch, plie, stretch, come up, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, pelvic press, up, 2, 3, and down, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, roll down, 2, 3, flat back up, 2, 3, down. Second time flat back, and roll down, up, 2, 3, and roll down. This time keep your arms up. Flat back over, roll up, arms up. Second time, roll up, and flat back, roll up, arms up. Last time, and roll up. Good. Okay, good. Shake it out. Give your back a little bit of a break. I'm just gonna do a little plies. Keep your upper body calm. Work your legs. So this is gonna be like a plie tendu footwork combination. So you're gonna start again, parallel hip width apart. You're gonna start, and you're gonna do these little, I don't really know what they're called, but they're little like prancy things. So you're gonna bring one foot up to a demi-point, and then you're gonna push off with the toes just to this kind of 90-degree angle. So you don't wanna go like flailing, but you wanna make sure you're just using the strength of your toes to bring your foot up off the floor. So you're gonna do demi, point, demi, close. You're gonna do that fast. So up, down, reach the tendu, plie, stretch. You're gonna do the same thing to the left. So you're gonna demi, push off, demi, down, reach the tendu, plie, stretch. Same thing to the side. So ball, point, ball, down, tendu, plie. Same thing to the left, up, reach, plie. To the back, up, tendu, plie. Left side, and then right to the side, left to the side. Then you're gonna turn out, you're gonna do the same thing, turned out with your arms up in this parallel second. So it's gonna be demi, point, demi, down. You're gonna do the same thing, but with a dégagé, plie. Same thing left, same thing right side, right back, left back. And let's just stop there. Keep in mind, these tendus and these dégagés, it should really be like you're reaching past your leg length, and you shouldn't come in until the very, very last second. So even though it's like 7, plie 8 should be like a 7, and plie 8, so you're ready to go for the left side. Yeah, and then just make sure that you're really even, especially when you're turning out. And also, one other note I forgot to say is that in Horton, your turnout isn't like your ballet perfect 180-degree first. It's whatever you can comfortably and stably support. So even if that's like a little tiny baby first, that's perfect. It should just be whatever keeps you from falling over.
Can you tilt the screen a bit so we can see your feet?
Down, yeah. I was trying to figure out the best angle earlier, but it's not quite.
Yeah, it's hard.
No, it's fine. This is not an ideal setup. All right. Ready? You can just follow along with me. Demi, point, demi, down, up, tendu, plie. Left side, point, demi, down, point, tendu, plie. To the side. Tendu, plie. Demi, point, demi, down, point, reach, plie. Demi, point, demi, down, push, tendu back, plie. Make sure your knees are tracking over your feet. make sure your core is engaged. Demi, down, point, point, to the side, plie, left side. To the side, plie, turn out, same thing, turn out. Point, demi, down, point, point, dégagé, plie, to the left. Dégagé, plie, demi, point, demi, down. Push off to the side, push off, point, point, side, plie, to the back. Demi, down, push, push, back, plie. Demi, point, demi, down, point, point, back, plie. Demi, point, demi, down, push, last side, side, plie. Good. All right, wiggle it out one more time. Make sure your legs are relaxed. We're gonna do some laterals, which will get your torso working. So you're gonna be in a wide second. The second is whatever will support you, but the way I was taught is like if you do a plie, it would be kind of a perfect sort of 90. But depending on how long your legs are, how long your torso is, how strong you are, that you might need to take that in or bring it out a little bit, just whatever keeps you upright. So we're gonna do, make sure you're in your stable turnout, so not flat, not turned in, but kind of whatever you can handle. You're gonna start right hand on your hip, and this is kind of similar to ballet, hand on your hip, where your hand should never be resting, it should always be very engaged. Your left arm is gonna float up above your head to the same position you were doing earlier. What you're gonna do, your hips are gonna lead. So your hips are gonna take you off to the side. Make sure again that your legs are engaged, that you're not just kind of letting everything go, but you should really be tracking straight side. And because your hips start to move, your torso starts to move, and you're gonna tilt over to the side. Again, this is as far as you can manage with proper technique. So even if that's just like up here, that's fine. We're gonna do 4 counts over, 4 counts up. On the and, you're gonna switch your hands, so your left hand's on your hip, your right hand's up. Same thing to the left. So your hips lead to the right, your torso tilts to the left for 4 counts. You're gonna come back up for 4 counts. You're gonna switch. You're gonna do 2 counts. So over for 2, up for 2, switch. Over for 2, up for 2, switch. Do that again. Over for 2, up for 2, switch. Over for 2, up for 2. Then this arm is gonna come up to join your other arm, and we're gonna repeat all of that with both arms up. So over for 4, up for 4, over for 4, up for 4, over for 4, over for 2, up for 2, for 2, up for 2, for 2, up for 2, over for 2, up for 2. Things to keep in mind, again, just really think about keeping your legs strong. Also think about keeping your core strong. So when you're going over to the side, it should never be like a droop. This isn't a stretch. This is really about keeping all of this long and flat and just taking the whole thing over as a unit. So even your neck should be in line with all of that. And then you should come up also as a unit. And the coming up should also be initiated by your hips. So you're over here and then your hips start to move in. So your torso starts to move up to make room for them. And then you're going over to the other side. Yeah? Any questions? Does that make sense to everyone?
When you go over, is it like the idea that it's just like one line?
Yeah.
Or...
I mean, in the most ideal of shapes, and I don't really think I can do it right, but ideally you're like, yeah, you're like parallel to the ground. Your arms is also parallel to the ground. I have a little too much quarantine chub right now for that, but yeah, it should all be one unit and you should never be, nothing should be going faster than anything else. You should all be moving together. Okay. 7, 8, over, right, 2, 3, up, 2, 3, 4, switch, over, up, in, 2, up, for 2, switch, over, up, for 2, switch, over, up, for 2, switch, over, up, for 2, both arms over, 2, 3, 4, up, 2, 3, 4. Keep your shoulders down, 3, 4, and your neck long. Over for 2, up for 2, over 2, up 2. Again, up for 2, over 2, up 2. Flip the palms, arms come down. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. All right, plie, shake it out, whatever you need. We are still doing pretty good on time. Okay. Let's do, let's work. So we're gonna keep doing the laterals, but we're gonna prepare for the next thing that you're gonna do after this. So your arms are gonna come up, both arms at once. You're gonna go over for 4 counts, same thing you were doing. 2, 3, 4. Now you're gonna flip. So again, your hips are gonna lead, your right hip is gonna go to the back, and it's gonna send your torso forward. So you're gonna end up in this position, kind of like you're doing a flat back, but in second position and twisted. So make sure that your back's really, really flat. So one more time, how do you get there? You're gonna come up, you're gonna do your regular lateral, and then lead with your right hip to flip it over. Make sure you're not letting this knee buckle. You should still be trying to turn it out. So you're here. From here, you're gonna bring yourself all the way around to the other side. Make sure again that this knee doesn't buckle. You're gonna flip back to lateral. So your right hip again leads back, and then you're gonna come up. Then you're gonna do the same thing to the left. So you're gonna go lateral in 4 counts to the left. You're gonna flip and hold here for 4 counts. You're gonna come around for 4 counts. You're gonna flip back, and you're gonna come up for 4 counts. And then you're gonna do, building off of that, you're gonna go over to the right again. You're gonna flip again. This time you're gonna do a release swing. So from this flat position, with your arms up, you're gonna take a little breath, and you're gonna kind of just swing yourself around to the other side. So rather than going flat across, you're letting your back relax. You're trying to breathe your way over to the other side. So this should be like 2, 3, 4. This is just 1, 2 counts. So from here, release, up, and then lateral, come back up. Same thing to the left, so flat back for 4 counts, over for 4 counts, release swing, and then let's do this in 1, in 1. Does that make sense to everyone? Anything you need me to go over? Yeah? Okay, cool. Then let's just stick with that, and then let's keep going. So then, last thing you're gonna do, one more time, you're gonna go lateral. You're gonna go flat back. You're gonna do a release swing, but at the end of your release swing, you're gonna do a lateral and then a flat back. So all together, you're here, is gonna release, lateral flat, then you're gonna release them to the other side, lateral flat, release, and then just lateral, come up. Same thing to the left, flat back, release, lateral flat, release, lateral flat, release, slow lateral, come up, arms down. When you're doing the quick lateral flat, again, make sure that it's your hips that's initiating the motion and that all of this is staying really, really stable. I sometimes fall over when I try to do this, so try not to do that. Yeah, we'll see how you guys feel once we do it. And then if there's anything else you need me to talk about, we can go over that. But does that make sense to everyone, what we're doing? Yes, cool. Eight to the right, 2, 3, 4, flat for 4. Swing around, 2, 3, 4, lateral for 2, come up for 2, over, 2, 3, 4, flat back, 3, 4, around, 2, 3, 4, lateral, 2, up for 2, to the right. Release swing this time, flat back, release, hold, hold, lateral, come up for 2, to the left, flat back, 3, breathe, release, 2, 3, hold, 4, lateral, come up, lateral, right, flat back. You're gonna do release swings with the lateral flat. Release, lateral, flat, release, lateral, flat, release, lateral, come up, over, 2, 3, 4, flat, 2, 3, 4, and release, lateral, flat, release, lateral, flat, release, lateral, come up, flip the palms, and arms down. Good. Great job. Okay. One thing that I did notice a little bit of is when you're doing your lateral flat, you should make sure that you're really trying to keep your torso on the same height that it was before. So you did your release swing. Your lateral shouldn't be coming up to here. You should be trying as much as you can to stay on this same angle and to stay really, really flat throughout all of this. I know it's hard, but that's also kind of the safest way to do it. Yeah, let's see. How are you doing on time? Okay, that can be done with for today. I'll give your sides a break. We're gonna do a little bit of just isolations. So if you have the space to travel forward, I won't make you travel too much, but just if you have the space to take like 4 big steps forward, you should be good. So you're gonna start as far back as you can. You're gonna do just simple isolation. So you're gonna start with your hips. No, you're gonna start with your chest. So your hands are gonna be on your hips. You're gonna step and you're gonna try to push your chest out without moving any of this. So it should just be forward, step with your right, chest forward. Step with your left, you wanna send your chest to the right. Step with your right, your chest should go back, but this isn't a contraction, this is just a little bit of a movement of the chest. And then step with the left, your chest goes to the side again. And then we'll pause, we'll take it back, and do the same thing to the left. So step forward with your left, chest forward with your right, chest side, forward with your left, chest back, forward with your right, chest side. We're gonna bring it back again. And then you're gonna do the same thing with the hips. So forward with your right, tilt your pelvis forward. Forward with your left, tilt your pelvis side. Forward with your right, tilt your pelvis back. Forward with your left, tilt your pelvis side. Walk it back, same thing to the left. So forward with your left, pelvis front. Forward with your right, pelvis to the left. Step with your left, pelvis back. Step with your right, pelvis side. So the way this should work is on this, as you're stepping out, your chest or your hips are going to the position. Then as you bring your foot in, you should be coming back to neutral. As it comes out again, you should be moving to the next position. So you shouldn't be staying here and then going right to the side. You should be going forward, back to neutral, side, back to neutral, back. So it's really working going through the neutral, getting all of the angles and the sides of your hips, chest and your hips. Does that make sense to everyone? Cool. Oh, and one more thing, when you're walking, you should be in a little bit of a plie. So it's not like a very deep plie, but just enough to get your hips moving, make sure that you're not gripping anything. Great, okay. My music is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Start with the chest. 8. Step forward, side, back, side. Walk it back. 6, 7, 8. To the left, side, back, side. Walk it back. 7, 8. Lift the hips forward, side, back, side. Walk it back. 6, 7, 8. Last time, hips forward, left, back, right. Walk it back. Now, keeping with the same general principle, this is more complicated, but I think you can all do it. So we're gonna still keep our hands on our hips. We're gonna do, you're gonna step forward with your right foot. And as you do that, your hips are gonna tilt forward. Then they're gonna do a little figure 8. So they're gonna come around to the side, around. So front, side, then they're gonna go straight side. As you step forward with the left, they're gonna keep doing the figure 8. So they're gonna go to the side, back, around. Same thing, left. Now let's just do the whole figure 8. So you're gonna step, hips, swish all the way around, step, hips swish forward, side, back, around. So it's kind of like you're doing 2 little circles with your hips, one going forward, one going back. Yeah, so you're gonna step, hips are gonna go to the front foot, around, around to the back, around, around to the front. We'll do this slower. Does anyone need me to break it down more? No? Okay, everyone seems to get it. Cool. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So step forward, hips go around. Step left, hips go around. Step right, hips around. Left, hips go around. Good. We're gonna keep doing that. Except we're gonna add just a little bit of arm. First, we're just gonna keep our arms, so kind of like you're a puppet, like you're doing the parallel second, but you bend your elbows. And then you're just gonna flutter your hands. So kind of like you're doing jazz hands, but it's in this position, and both of your hands are just going like that, if you can see what's going on. So really make sure that you're staying straight across your chest and across your back, trying to keep this as 90 degree as possible. And you're gonna do the same thing with your hips. So this all should stay very strong, very flat, while your hips are going around, 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 around. Then you're gonna move it back. You're gonna do the same thing, but instead of fluttering, your hands, you're gonna flick your middle finger against your thumb, like that, on both hands. So flick 1, 2, 3, 4, as your hips are doing the same motion. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then we're gonna move back again. And then we're gonna do, one hand is fluttering, one hand is doing this as your hips are moving. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You're gonna walk it back and then you're gonna switch. So this time your right hand's fluttering, your left hand is flicking, and you're stepping left to do the hips. All right, does everyone have the arms? It's kind of confusing, so if you don't get it right away, that's fine. One, 2, 3, 4. Just start fluttering. 6, 7, 8. Right, left, right, left. Good. Walk back. 2, 3, 4. Start flicking. 6, 7, 8. Step left, around, right, around, left, around, right, around. Walk it back. Start fluttering left hand, flicking right. 5, 6, just get used to the motion. 8, and hips. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Walk it back one more time. Switch hands. Flutter left. No, flutter right, flip left. 3, 4, 5, 6. Get ready. 7, 8, and hips. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. Good job, everyone. All right, last couple things. We're just gonna do a quick little parallel T study, so I'm not even gonna do music for this. We're gonna start with our right foot first. So our left foot is gonna be in our little turned out first. Our right foot is gonna be parallel. And you're gonna take this parallel leg out to tendu. So just follow along with me so you can get used to the shape. Your arms are gonna be above your head. Now, kind of like we were thinking about in the laterals with your hips leading, your leg's gonna lead and the whole rest of your body's gonna follow. So your leg is gonna lift up and you're gonna try to stay in one line from this arm all the way down to your toes. And you're just gonna slowly let it tip you over if you have the space until you're in this T shape. So when you're here, when we think about engaging this leg, engaging this parallel leg to make sure that you have a stable parallel. And then that you're really letting your torso both be stable and also breathe. So one more time, let's go back to the tendu. Let's just follow along with me as we go. Tilt, over. Good, let's see here for a little bit. Good, come back up. Let your torso lead and your leg follow. And then bring everything in. Turn your right foot out. Tendu left leg, arms up. And then same thing to the left. So really thinking about the turn out here and the turning in here, but keep your hips really stable facing forward. And we're gonna go over. Stay here for a little bit. And come up. Good, okay, does everyone feel their torso working when they're doing that? Great. Now, again, since you all seem to have the space to do the isolations, we're just gonna do a quick little leg swing, going into stag, going into T eventually. So we're gonna start, we're gonna do tendu back, but our toes are on the ground, so it's just kind of like you're on the ball of your foot in the back. So you're here. You're gonna swing your right foot front to this kind of, ideally, your legs up here, you're 90 degrees. If you can't do that, just kind of as high as it goes without tipping your pelvis. So you're gonna swing forward, you're gonna swing back. So in the same shape, but you're not tilting forward, you're trying to keep your upper body up as much as possible, and then swing this back leg up. You're gonna do front, back, front, step forward. As you step forward, you should be stepping out past your leg length, bringing this back leg up. Now you're gonna go into a stag, which is here. First, you're gonna bend your right foot. You're gonna bend the left foot, and you're gonna move your arm so that your left arm is in front of you. So eventually it's gonna look like that. So this should be 90-90. This should be plied as much as you can, and then your arms should be reaching, this arm reaching forward, this arm reaching back, and your back should be up. So all your muscles should be engaged in this position. So one more time, you do swing forward, swing back, front, step, and then I'm gonna give you like 4 counts to go into the stag, hold, 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 come up. And then move back, same thing to the left. So starting in tendu, swing your right foot front, left foot front, back, front, step forward, and then bring your right arm front and reach. Ideally, and I can't do this, but ideally, your torso is still really straight up, so you should be like reaching to get this as vertical as possible, even as you're trying to do all the other complicated things. Does that make sense? Questions? Concerns?
Just like maybe this isn't a good question, but it's like with the balancing, does like the weight stay on the ball of your foot the whole time? I feel like as I move, like I'm shifting my weight, and I don't know if I'm helping myself or hurting myself.
Yeah, that's a great question. Yeah, as a general rule of thumb, kind of like in ballet, you should be thinking about your weight on the ball of your foot as much as possible. But if your body has to shift to accommodate something, that's fine, just as long as you're not like letting the rest of your alignment shift. Yeah, any other questions?
Yeah, so there's Ben.
Yes.
He has to order.
Just to be clear, since I was moving around, are we keeping the back leg bent in that position?
Yeah, your back leg is bent and turned in.
All right, okay.
You're here.
Perfect, thank you.
Yes. Kind of like you're showing off your hamstrings. Yeah, other questions?
I realized that there wasn't.
Okay, cool. So we're just gonna do that.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. Fine. I'm glad you're on top of this.
I am. Thank you.
All right, we're gonna wait for Brett to come back.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. All right, any other questions? Okay, great. 2, 3, 4. We're gonna do 2 counts in 8. 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Swing forward, back, front, step forward, stag. 2, 3, 4. Come up, walk back, shake it out, breathe. 5, 6. Sorry, 5, 6, 7, 8. Left, back, right, step forward, stag. 2, 3. Let's come up, down. Great job, everyone. Okay, we only have 2 minutes left, so we're gonna do a quick little stretch. You're just gonna come down. You're gonna be in a lunge with a turned out front foot. And then your left arm's gonna be on the inside, right arm's gonna be on the outside. In this position, we're just gonna do 16 little bounces. So just your pelvis moving up and down, trying to stretch out the front of your hip and your hamstrings. So 16 of these. You're gonna do a little down dog, left foot front. You're gonna do 16 little bounces again with the right foot back. Down dog, right foot front again. Here, you're gonna stay here and you're just gonna, for 16 counts, progressively walk your hands out. So this is gonna be as far out as you can get without letting your leg collapse. You should be staying in this position with your back leg straight, just kind of letting your torso and your hips lower. What that means practically is that your stepping is probably gonna be like 1, 2, 3, 4. So making really small steps with your hands and walking out to the full expression of the stretch. Once you're out here, after 16 counts, same thing, just stand back, down dog, left, same thing, walk out for 16, walk back up, and we'll just be done with that. Yeah? Okay. Seven, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bounce. 1, 2. Let's just keep bouncing. I'm gonna do it slower than the music is. 5, 6, 7, 8. Down dog. Take your time. Stretch it out. 5, 6. Left foot front. 8. We're gonna bounce. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Down dog again. Right foot front. We're gonna walk 1, 2, hand, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Another 8. Keep your back leg really straight. 4. If you've gotten to your limit, just hang out. 6, 7, 8. Down dog again. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Left foot forward. 8. Walk it out. Left. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Make sure your weight is centered, not all the way on one foot. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Great. All right, you can just collapse, sit on the ground, whatever you need. All right, we are over time, so thank you all for showing up today. I hope you had fun. I hope you feel like you worked your bodies, but do not feel like you got injured. Thank you, Mercedes. If your torso is sore tomorrow, that's great. That's what's supposed to happen. Yeah. So I hope you guys keep showing up to our classes, keep dancing. I will try to put more fun things like Horton and anything else we can find up here. And then this video should be on our YouTube shortly, as long as YouTube decides to cooperate with me. Yeah, so I'm gonna stop the recording.